Good evening, everyone. Your bedtime story tonight is called The Tale of Jack Frost, written by David Melling. Okay. It was a crisp and frosty morning. Woodwind and Waffle were out collecting snow beetles when they found a boy, a real boy, asleep in the snow. They hopped around in circles. What to do? What to do? They squeaked. Shadows came bobbing and gliding towards them from every direction. Unicorns and woodhoppers and beazles appeared. Owls and magpies and skittlets dropped from the bending branches. Funny-looking creatures peered around each other, and even the trees shuffled forward for a better look. Cowslip, a tall and gentle creature with hairy knees, spoke first. "What shall we do with him?" he said. The unicorn stepped forward. "We are in danger," he said. "Where he came in, others will follow." But Woodwind and Waffle were hopping again. Too cold, they cried. "He needs our help." Cowslip agreed. He prepared an ointment and bathed the boy's eyes. Slowly, the boy awoke. They asked him many questions, but he remembered nothing, not even his name. They all taught the boy what they knew. He mixed rare potions and unusual soup. His favourite was worm juice surprise. He was quick to understand magic, and he was very, very good with snail glue. But his skin was snow white and always ice cold. Whatever he touched for more than a few moments turned to frost, and so the creatures named him Jack Frost. Only the unicorn appeared nervous. "Something bad will happen," he snorted, and before long it did. Now in the dark valley, with its curling mist, there lived thick stubby creatures with green oily skin, goblins. They smelled of boiled cabbage and liked to make rude noises just for fun. Clever they were not. When they heard that Jack Frost, a real boy, had been shown the magic of the enchanted forest, they were furious. Goblins believed that the magic should be theirs. Now the forest was open. This was their chance. That night, Jack Frost was playing with a friendly pack of bing-bang bondilegs. These were large animals, but they scared easily. Indeed, at the first sign of danger, they would roll onto their backs and pretend to be asleep. So when a goblin stumbled across Jack Frost with a bunch of snoring creatures, he stuffed him into a sack and scurried off back to the goblin's lair. King Gobbledygook plucked Jack from the sack. He was surrounded by cabbage-smelling goblins. "Hello," said Jack, and touched the royal dimply nose. "Eek!" squealed the king. "He's freezing." "We want the magic," roared the goblins. "I will do the shouting," snapped King Gobbledygook. He turned to Jack. "You're going to tell us how to get this magic," he said, "or there'll be trouble, and you'll be in it." The other goblins sniggered. "That's easy," said Jack. "Every night the sun goes to sleep in a lake by the forest. It is full of magic and so easy to catch." "Ooh," said the goblins. They were so impressed. "But if I show you how to catch it, you must promise never to go into the enchanted forest again," said Jack. "Oh yes," said the goblins, giggling and nudging each other with their ribs. "We promise." Jack knew they were lying, but he had an idea. The goblins followed Jack to the lake. They were very excited. "First, you must make a circle around the lake," said Jack. "Now look into the lake and tell me, what do you see?" The goblins stared. Nothing. Then a small goblin who had medals for thinking sprang to his feet. "Water!" he shouted. "No," said Jack, and pointed at the reflection of the moon. "Look, there is the sun." He dipped his finger into the lake. With wide eyes, the goblins gulped as a thin film of frost crept and crackled and glistened across the lake. In moments it had turned to ice. Well, the goblins were delighted. They lifted the frozen sun and ran off. They didn't even say thank you. But by the time they reached the stone tower, the ice had melted and the sun had gone, and all they had left were wet hands. "We've been tricked," growled King Gobbledygook. With screams of rage, they raced back to Jack. Jack, in the meantime, had been making ice puddles with snail glue when he heard angry slippy noises. Squeedunk! As soon as the goblins touched the ice puddles, they froze. Within moments, there were frozen goblins everywhere. Jack skipped to the ice statues and gave them a frosty sunflower. "Here you are," he laughed. "This is your sun. These sunflowers will warm you up and set you free. This is the only magic you will see tonight." The goblins could only stare with stiff grins and chattering teeth. Woodwind